My name's Charity Pancaldi and this is my story. It's an unfinished story of hope, and started off, I was raised in England in a relatively normal family. My dad worked in the city, my mum worked at home, and when I was about 8 years old, I've got an older sister, an older brother and a much older brother, and my dad decided to move to South Africa one year, and a year later we followed him out there. And we lived there for 3 years, and in the first year that we lived there, my family and myself really met with Jesus in a radical way. But, well, any way you meet with Jesus is radical. I became a Christian, got baptised all on the same day. I was a really young Christian, I was 8 years old, but it was amazing. And spent 3 years living there, lived in a cool place on a beach, and went to a Christian school, and moved back to England when we couldn't get visas and couldn't stay in the country any longer. And life was, pretty normal. I didn't go to school. I homeschooled because my education was behind and I just didn't want to go to high school. And then about the age of about 12, 13, in 2005, just a bit angry with God, angry at situations in my life, and just a bit kind of dormant. And it was the night of Christmas Eve, and I was with one of my friends, and we were going into Colchester town on, I don't know, whatever the day was, Christmas Eve, and about 2 miles away from my house we were in a really bad car accident. It just involved our car, but it was an absolute miracle that we walked out alive and relatively unscathed. I was in hospital, and it turned out I had a neck injury, which for the first kind of 6 months was all that was on my mind. As that started to heal, I started to realise I had quite a severe back problem, and for the next 3.5 years lived in complete and utter agony as a 13-year-old, missing out on everything, no longer being able to horse ride, just the usual things, picking up little babies. I used to love it, couldn't do it anymore. And the daunting fact that there wasn't a huge amount people could do for me. I'd had a lot of treatment and nothing had changed. I then, in the summer of 2009, went to South Africa. In fact, let's backtrack. In the summer of 2008, my back started to heal a little bit, and things started to look up. Things were good. I was really plugging into my life. I was about to finish my education, and I didn't really know what was going to happen, but I was excited. I had some great music opportunities coming up, and July 12, 2008, my absolute hero of a 21-year-old brother passed away in a mountaineering accident. And God revealed some amazing things to me through a dream, things that gave me absolute hope to carry on and to be able to help my family get through such a time. And a lot of things were cancelled. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't continue on with any further education, and was a bit lost. My back got increasingly worse due to stress and just, I don't know, grief. It does all sorts of things to you physically and mentally. And summer of 2009, after not being in education and doing a kind of random odd jobs, I went to South Africa, and whilst I was there, I started having these bizarre fits, and doctors couldn't really put down what it was. I'd been to the hospital, I'd seen a lot of doctors, and no one had any answers for me. And after 2.5 months, nearly 3 months, I was back in England, and I was really, really unwell. And I decided to go to this Christian summer camp where we were camping in tents, and bizarrely I thought it was still a good idea, and some other people had really encouraged me that they'd felt God told them that I was to go, and I did. And I was really ill whilst I was there, having fits every hour, being on the floor in agony for half an hour. And then on the very last night of this camp, there was the altar call, and it was for physical healing. It was the only time we'd had it all week, and I didn't want to stand up. I didn't want people to pray for me. I didn't want to be disappointed again at the fact that I knew God could heal me, but he wasn't, and he hadn't, and I'd lived with this back injury, and now I was living with these fits. And people prayed and nothing happened, and then kind of had a bit of an ultimatum with God and just said, I need your help. Like, if you're not going to heal me, that's okay. I know you can, but I need strength. Like, just help me. Just give me the strength to endure this, whatever it is. And whilst I was praying this and kind of just praising God for the fact that he's worthy no matter what situation we're going through, and whether you can see him present in your life or not, he's still worthy. And as I started to say that, a fit started to come on, and I was angry because I was like, I'm trying to pray here and now I'm having a fit again. And I got angry. I'm not even sure at what, but it disappeared. And I kind of knew I'd been healed straight away, but I questioned it because I wasn't sure because I was scared, and you know, if I told people I've been healed, or if I ate something and I had another fit, then what were people going to think? And I decided I needed it and wanted it far too much, so I decided to walk in my healing. I turned to a friend of mine who had looked after me amazingly all week and said, I've been healed, I've been healed. And as she started to hug me and just kind of in amazement, and as she was crying, my back started to twist, and my twisted pelvis and my twisted spine just started to supernaturally twist back into shape without any pain. And you could actually see my belly button moving. And I now have a completely straight spine. Doctors can't work it out. They want to know what happened and they won't believe me. And I have a straight spine, and yeah, the story continues. And God's done some amazing things. And we now run a charity for my brother called History Maker Foundation, and God continues to be glorified through that. So this is my story, and it is an unwritten story of hope.